The current strain of Ebola, how does it compare to the Ebola Reston strain that was in Virginia, that was airborne, and it really only affected primates, but nonetheless caused quite a scare at that time? The book The Hot Zone was written about it. So how does this strain compare to the Reston version of the virus?
Well, we don't know enough about this strain, so we don't know how bad it is. There is a lot of science that needs to be done with this particular strain because it may be more virulent than any of the others. The Reston strain was unique in that it only made monkeys sick and did not make humans sick who were exposed to it. So it was the only strain of Ebola that didn't affect humans.
So what are the possibilities of this current type or this current strain of Ebola adopting characteristics of the Reston virus, making it airborne?
See, the issue here is with the definition of airborne. Anthrax can be used in an airborne way. So anthrax is in a spore. That spore is not killed by extremes of temperature or pressure. It can live for decades in the soil. It can travel many miles in the air. So that's one airborne. You can't get rid of it. And it can cause epidemics many years down the road once it's used in an area. Ebola does not have those properties, but Ebola, it seems, can be excreted in moist particles. And when it's dried out, when it is subjected to certain temperatures, when bleach or even alcohol is applied to it, it will die. So it doesn't live a long time. It can't travel for miles, but it's very, very likely that if you're in the same room with someone with Ebola and they are excreting it, coughing, sneezing, speaking, diarrhea, vomiting, that it will be up in the air for minutes to perhaps an hour, and someone else could get it that way.
So when the director of the CDC says, hey, it's not airborne, we have nothing to worry about, the definition and description you just gave us flies in the face of what the CDC director has made public statements. Why is there a conflict between what you're saying and the CDC director?
Well, I think his job is to calm the public, and mine is to try to call it as I see it. I mean, we know that in animal experiments, sorts of Ebola have been transmitted through these droplet nuclei that I just talked about. That's animal experiments. That's not with the current strain. But it seems likely that that happened. That may be how the nurses were affected.